Well, look at you, Julien. There you are in the Paris evening. How are you? How's Paris? How's life?
Good morning, Max. I'm actually wondering what would this web series look like if I suddenly moved out of the Paris region. You'd have to rework the entire speech from scratch, right?
No, and all my fantasies would be gone. You're not allowed. You're stuck there. I don't care what happens in your life.
I'm afraid I am actually. So don't you worry about it. All right, what's up with you? What's new? What's new in the world?
I had not too long ago, about 3 weeks to a month ago, I had a traumatic event, and I can just see it's lining up at least 2 sessions that I'm going to need to talk through. And the first one I'm ready to talk through today. So I was driving on a freeway and I hit a deer. And fortunately, I hit it with the corner of my car, so it didn't like go over my car or ruin me or anything. It was pretty ruinous for the deer. And a whole lot of damage to the front of my car. So first step in this process, and this is an interesting one because it's a very mixed bag. Call the insurance company and do a claim with the insurance company. You don't, I don't know how it is there, but here you don't need to do a police report or anything. If you hit a deer on the freeway, it's more dangerous to pull over than to just go, and hopefully somehow the deer got dealt with and all of that. But so a couple days after the accident, I called the insurance company because you need to file a claim with the insurance company. And it was, the process was phenomenally straightforward. I called, there was just an 800 number to make a claim. Actually, that's not true. First, I called the main number. It wasn't easy to find the claim number. I called the main number. They gave me a reference to the other number. And then I called the number and got through. And there was, I got to the agent, and I had to have I only had to have like the least amount of information. I said, I hit a deer. I was waiting for, okay, we need 5 pictures of the car, up this way, down that way, over this way, etc. And they were like, no, don't need anything like that. And then that's when it got interesting, because then, and it was a guy. So the guy was like, so we have great shops for you to use. And the way it works, if I'm remembering this right, they have their preferred providers, and then they contract direct with the preferred provider. I pay, my deductible, and then they just pay everything else, and I don't have to worry about anything, which is very nice. The other thing you can do, which I've done at other points in my life, is you can go find your own place. They will pay you X amount of dollars, and if your own place charges you half that, you get to keep the difference. And I don't know. It used to be I loved shopping around and finding those and getting those deals, but I'm just kind of like, you know what, your place is fine.
Not worth my time anymore.
Yeah. But the call suddenly became, you could tell the guy's incentive is to make damn sure that one of their preferred providers gets the repair work. Because he was like, hey, we've got these great deals. I can set you up with one here. I got a link here you can go to get to them. I'll send it to your phone. And then you want me to just sign you up with the top one? It's only 3 miles from your house, and it's got very good reviews. And it went from this very smooth, very easy process to all of a sudden a hard sell. And it just, I'm like, no, send me the link. Let me look. I will choose one. He's like, no, this one's really close to your house. Why don't you just take it? And I don't think there was any incentive for him to get one over the other. It's just once I've sent it there, it's harder for me not to go there, and they're that much more likely to get one of their preferred providers to get the deal. And so, I literally had to fight with a guy to not have him pre-sign me for one, which I did, and he sent the link. And the reality, I don't remember which one he promoted. I may well have chosen the one he wanted, but it just really bothered me that was what they want. What they did. And then I had, and we have multiple cars, and my car is a little bit nicer and a little bit newer, so the insurance is more expensive. So I have a bigger deductible on it to get the cost down a little bit. So it's $1,000 deductible, and I have other cars that have $250 deductible. We have another car that has a broken windshield. So when I was talking, I said, okay, so how much, I have this other car, what would it cost to get the windshield repaired? Because it used to be that was a very separate thing. But I guess now it's just kind of the same thing. And he's like, oh, that's just, you just pay the deductible and it's the regular insurance. And I'm like, well, how much deductible is on that car? And I identified the car, and he spent a little time, and he came back and said, it's $1,000. And that was wrong. It was $250 for that car. It was $1,000 for my car, the main car I have. So I don't think he was lying. I think he was just too lazy to look it up. And he just said, okay, well, he's got this one at that. I assume he has every other car at the same deductible. I'm just going to tell him that. So that's my story. There are two issues for me here. I mean, there's one good thing, which is the process was well defined and very smooth, but there was an overemphasis on we want you to do it through the preferred providers. And then the guy just got lazy on me. So there's my tale of mostly woe.
All right. Many things to unpack here. First, if you are watching this video and you happen to be a deer, watch out, because apparently there's going to be a full series according to Max. So you may want to stay in the forest. Don't cross the freeway. Max is coming. Once we've said that, good experience overall. Very pushy, which is fun because we had a story about something somehow similar a few weeks back. It was about me in Hong Kong buying a photo book and the salesperson being insanely pushy. The difference was, by the end of the conversation, she was not just pushy, she was upset and rude and not friendly at all. Your guy was just lazy. So it's another type of profiles yet to encounter. Well, I don't know how to feel about it, because the system they provide feels like whichever the provider, you're going to pay the same. So unless you decide to take that fixed amount of money they would transfer to you and hope that you find a very cheap provider, chances are taking their provider is going to be somehow cheaper, because regardless of the provider, you'll pay the same amount of deductible. And whatever is above this, they will take care of it because it's their provider, so they have a deal.
Right.
That's kind of funny. The guy was telling you that he can get you a very good deal, because it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it's not your money. You're still going to pay the same price regardless of what the deal is.
Yeah. And I probably miscolored. I think he was more saying, hey, this is so easy. We're just going to make it easy for you. And you're right. It wasn't that this is a great deal. It was, this is easy and this shop has good reviews.
So I have mixed feelings about this, because I think if they made it very simple to start with, and they really want to make it as simple as possible for you to get a provider that, nearby and it's going to take you as a priority versus waiting for 3 months. I have no idea how it is in the US, but in France it could very easily be a few weeks wait before anyone takes care of your car. So if you get, fixed price, transparency, hopefully a good provider because they have good reviews from what the guy was saying, priority on the list near your home, that sounds like a good deal to me, and they should be doing what they are doing. Where I have mixed feelings is, do you really need to push that hard and make it that obvious that your commission is based on this? Should you, would there be another path around saying, look, I have this, I send you all the information, I'm going to make it super easy for you to book. look around if you want to think about something else. Otherwise, just click on that link when the time comes, and probably there is a point where when you should realize that maybe now you need to give it up and just give another path for the customer to still be satisfied, while not being overly pushy.
I think as we're talking this through, I think the insurance company did everything they could do. They have a good process. It's very clean. It's very simple. It's good for them because they have control, and fine. I have no issue with that. Honestly, I think this is the rare case where I would put it on the agent, because that whole same conversation could have been, man, I'm sorry, this was really traumatic. I bet, hey, we do make it pretty simple. Here's what we do. And, you don't have to be like, hey, can I send you, hey, you want to sign up? It's like, let me decide that. To me, that was the only, and I'm sure the script didn't say, hey, now maybe it's the supervisor because they're pushing him so hard to do it. But I honestly, I think one might actually fall on the agent.
There might be some of that, because as you were saying this, I'm trying to remember some personal experiences I've had with insurances. There was one from season 1, I believe, a couple of years ago, where I was trying to get something about my ceiling to get some level of coverage. And basically what the insurance was telling me was, you just need to find an entrepreneur that's going to be able to take care of this for you, and we'll pay the bill up to whatever. And I was saying, actually the exact opposite experience to yours. I was saying, could you actually suggest someone? And they were like, well, I would recommend you find someone yourself. We can suggest someone, but there is like a 6 months waiting list, and I can't even guarantee would cover 100% of. So now you have an insurance that's able to cover everything, makes it easy, not asking a million questions. The sales guy being pushy, if that's the only problem you've got, I guess that's one you could live with. The agent being lazy, different story here, because it's usually incredibly difficult to find whatever information you're searching for in an insurance contract, and therefore, if you take the time to call the insurance and they're not able to provide you with answers, now that's being problematic. So I would have much more trouble with the second element more than the first one, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I'll cut him a little bit of slack. He's the claims guy, not the guy in my local agent's office. So it's a little out of his job, but a very reasonable request. So I agree. I think it was positive. The next step in this saga will be the car is in the repair process, but it's not done yet. So I'm not going to tell that story until we'll see where that goes. So hopefully that story will be available to report very soon.
Well, ultimately, if I need to close on this one, looking forward to the next one. I think it's not such a bad experience. I think that's actually a good example for agencies, for insurances to follow. Try to make it simple, make the claim simple, provide the information easily, and provide options nearby, convenient, quick, non-expensive. Just train your agents a little bit better so that they don't make you feel unnecessary pressure. But for the rest, I'd say pretty good experience overall and a good one to copy. Much better than mine with insurances.
Yeah, you're right. And I will say the shop I ended up choosing, right there, they had all the information and everything. So we'll see where that experience goes. But all right, well, perfect. I think this is one where it's not so much that I feel better, it's that I'm a little less confused about what happened. So that's appreciate that.
Good place to start. Thank you so much, Max. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and let's talk again next week then.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, Julien.
Bye.